Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a crowd, surrounded by people, but feeling completely and utterly alone? Like you're just operating on a totally different frequency? Well, today we're going to get into exactly why that happens. It's what some call the cognitive cost of deep awareness. So picture this. It's a scene you've probably been in 100 times. You're in a group conversation. The vibe is good, there's a joke, a shared moment, and everyone is laughing. And then there's you. You're silent, and it's not because you're shy or upset. It's just that, on some level, none of it feels quite real to you. And in that silence, this really heavy question can start to creep in, one you might know all too well. Why don't I belong anywhere? But here's the thing. What if you've been looking at it all wrong? What if your loneliness isn't some kind of social failure on your part? What if it's actually a cognitive separation? The idea that it's not about your ability to connect, but a fundamental difference in how your mind works. You know, this isn't exactly a new idea. The philosopher Schopenhauer said it pretty bluntly. The more you understand the world, the less the world understands you. It's this timeless paradox that so many deep thinkers have felt. Okay, so how does this cognitive separation actually play out in real life? Well, let's explore this metaphor of intelligence as a mirror. It kind of perfectly explains why simply reflecting what you see can make other people so uncomfortable. So think about most casual conversations. The unspoken goal, right, is usually comfort, keeping things simple, maybe maintaining a bit of a pleasant illusion. But your very presence, even when you're not trying, it just has a different effect. You bring reality, you bring depth, you bring questions that can poke holes in that comfort. And because your mind just naturally operates at this depth that frankly a lot of people don't visit, everything gets lost in translation. Your honest questions, they can feel like criticism. Your genuine curiosity, that can feel like judgment. And your ideas, the things you're excited about, well, they can feel like a direct attack on their simpler worldview. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The pushback you feel, it's probably not personal. There's this powerful idea that people do not hate the mirror. They hate what it shows. You're just reflecting a truth they might not be ready to look at. And living like this, constantly being that mirror, it is exhausting. Which brings us to another great metaphor, the feeling of playing chess in a Ludo world. It just perfectly captures that mental drain of constantly having to simplify yourself. So what does that really mean? Well, imagine your brain is wired for the strategy and complexity of chess. You're thinking 5 moves ahead, you see all the interconnected pieces. But the social game being played around you is Ludo. Simple, predictable, based on a roll of the dice. It's a total mismatch of operating systems. So to play along, you have to put on a performance, don't you? You end up laughing at things you don't actually find interesting. You have to act all excited about stuff that is literally draining your soul. And maybe worst of all, you're constantly simplifying your own thoughts just so people will understand you. And this right here, this is such an important distinction. That bone-deep exhaustion you feel after socializing, you're not tired from the people. You are tired from the performance, from the constant effort of being a simplified version of yourself. So beyond that social cost, there's a deeper, more internal cost. Let's call it the price of awareness. It's about the burden that comes with seeing all the patterns that other people seem to miss. When you see the world with this kind of clarity, you just can't unsee it. You spot the contradictions in what people say. You see the injustice built into our systems. You feel the potential meaninglessness in our daily routines, and you sense the chaos simmering just beneath the surface of everything. You lose the comfort of blind optimism. And the result of seeing all that, you end up in this strange state of being. You're physically in the room, but your mind is a million miles away, analyzing, processing, and wrestling with a much bigger reality than the small talk in front of you. Now, I know this might all sound pretty bleak, but this is where the whole story pivots. We're going to reframe this entire experience. We're going to talk about turning that solitude into a massive advantage, transforming isolation from a punishment into a powerful environment. So if all of this is resonating with you, that disconnect, the exhaustion, the performance, the big question is, okay, so what do I do? The path forward isn't to try harder to fit into the noise. It's to stop chasing it. It's to embrace the alternative. Because as you can see here, The constant noise of shallow interactions, that feeds the distracted mind. But silence? That's what nourishes the intelligent one. And look, this isn't about hiding from the world. It's about building a world inside yourself. In that chosen environment of solitude, away from the pressure to perform, that's where the real work happens. That's the fertile ground where new ideas are born, where real skills are built, and where a vision for your life can finally, truly take shape. And I really want you to let this final takeaway sink in. That feeling of isolation you've carried around, it is not evidence that you are broken. It's the opposite. It is the very space your mind requires to reach its full potential. It's not a bug, it's a feature. And so maybe the answer isn't some quick fix to make you feel like everyone else. Maybe it's a quiet acceptance of a powerful truth, that sometimes intelligence is lonely. And maybe finding the others who understand that, well, maybe that's the most profound sense of belonging you could ever ask for.